is up, my button mashers, and welcome back in. Sorry about last week. We missed you. I think all three of us had something come up, so I want to start by apologizing to all of you. Things happen, man. Things happen. We all got busy. But joining me today, I'm NatesLegend, of course, always. Joining me today, we got Scott and Jay. Scott, it's been a minute since you've been able to join us. How you been, man?
I have been good, very busy, working a lot. But you know what? I'm happy to be here, happy to see your guys' beautiful faces and talk about video games.
Hey, we're happy to have you, man. I mean, 2 weeks without talking about video games. There's so much that happened this week, and we have even more to catch up on with you because you've been gone so long. So glad to have you. Glad to have you. Jay, we're joined again by Jay always. Jay, how are you doing today, Jay?
Man, you know what? I can't complain, man. I'm doing all right. It's been a great week so far.
Good to hear. Good to hear. You have, if I recall correctly, you have your own show. You mentioned something about uploading another video today. What's going on there?
I just finished a day in the life episode. It's just technically just a personal vlog of everything that I go through in a week. I try not to overextend my time on it. So yeah, just uploaded episode 3, so you guys can check me out here on YouTube.
Fantastic. Well, definitely go check out the channel. Now, we say today, keep in mind, I mean, this is recording on Sunday, so the episode will have been out by the time this actually airs. So definitely
so you will
check
find
it out
on my Facebook. So just scroll through my Facebook and go ahead and click that,
There it is. Hit that like and subscribe. There we go. All right. So before we got going for the day, I posed another question for you as always. Wanted to give you guys a little bit of time to think about this. But if you could have any superpower, and we're talking video games, or if you want to go with your traditional, superhero, whatever else, what would it be and why? Let's go with Scott this time. We haven't heard from you in a bit.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wing it. I got it. All right. My superpower, if I could have any, would be, I think, just to pacify things. Like, I know that's a thing. With who was it in the Guardians? I think. But I would like the ability to just chill things out. Just like make everyone
calm the vibe. No one's ever mad around you. And we lost Doodles. All right.
Right, he's there.
Oh, there he is. Doodles, we lost you there, dude. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Okay, so I think the ability to make people calm would be my favorite thing. Just because, the world's crazy and I just want to chill. So I think getting people to calm down would be awesome.
I gotta say, there are things out there that help people calm down real good. And as far as I'm concerned, the government's trying to prevent us from having it. And I'm
most of them.
What is happening here? Let me calm down. I'm not going to say what I'm referring to, of course, but anywho,
I was ready to say it, but then I was like, wait,
we'll hang tight.
Anyway, I'm out of Capri Suns personally.
Yeah,
I knew you were trying to bring them up, but they're not a sponsor or anything.
No, I know we need a sponsor of this show. I will plug. I'll plug things if they wanna start sending things my way. I'll take a sponsor. I'll take Capri Sun as a sponsor too. Nonetheless, all right, I digress. Jay, what would your superpower be and why?
I always thought of intelligence being a superpower. So I would probably want to have either the mind of Bruce Wayne or the mind of Tony Stark.
Okay, that's a fair answer. Could throw Lex Luthor in there as well if you wanna get real.
Yeah, I guess you can. To me, it's the battle of the billionaires at this point.
That's fair.
You know what I mean, so I only chose the two that were good.
Okay, I feel that. I mean, both of them have given back so much.
You didn't really say villain or
no. I said power.
Jay's gonna be Iron Bat, bro.
Iron Bat. That is always a possibility if you can merge the two universes, I suppose, right?
Well, I just think having the intelligence to do whatever you want to do, to come up with something that'll be beneficial to helping out people, I think would be an ideal key for me, since it's technically what I'm doing now without being paid or
get that.
So,
All right, well, that's a great answer then. Go ahead, Scott.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah.
My first answer was dumb. I want infinite creation. I just want to be able to create things. And I want to be able to like think stuff and then just have it come out.
Now, okay, so here's the dangerous part about that, though, right? What happens that moment that your brain goes haywire and you just start imagining things and creating things? There was a whole episode very similar in the Batman series with Ace. Like, what happens when you just can't control what you're creating? Go ahead, Jay. Jay, what were you gonna say?
I said Ace the Bat Dog.
Ace Bat Dog. Yes. Who is it? Is it not?
Or
Ace,
Bat
yeah,
Dog.
Ace.
He's the only Ace in the Batman universe. Or are you talking? Oh, you're talking the animated series of the.
I know who I'm talking about here, and I cannot place it.
Crypto.
No. Ace is. It was in Justice League Unlimited. I mean, Justice League, the cartoon, and she was part of the Royal Flush Gang.
Royal Flush Gang. Yes. That is exactly what I'm thinking of. Yes. Good call. I'm sitting here trying to look it up because that was going to drive me nuts.
I just saw it last week. That's why.
There you go. There you go.
It popped up on YouTube and I just watched it and I was like, oh, Batman, you're dope.
It's a good moment, man. That is such a beautiful moment. Like knowing that she can read your mind and still going in there and not lying to her. Like, such a great. Anyway, I digress. Moving on, I'll answer real quick as well. I have two answers. Telekinesis is kind of my go-to. Obviously, that's what I want. More realistically, though, and for other reasons, lots of reasons, I feel like super speed is the direction I would want to go. The easy answer is my mind's moving a mile a minute. I may as well have the rest of me move that way too, right? So that's my that's my same answer. But we have a couple updates this week here, and I know we're missing a few weeks, so we're just going to touch on some of the big ones that I want to talk about because it's my show and I do what I want. Xbox gaming headset. Did you guys have a chance to check out what's releasing with the new Xbox wireless headset?
I haven't yet, actually.
You have not? Okay, got to check it out. So this headset, I'm actually really, really excited for. I will be copying one. First thing, so it does all of your basic audio setups at this point. So you have spatial sound, Windows Sonic, Dolby Atmos, and DTS Headphone X. I don't know what the last one is, if I'm honest, but whatever. It has a 15-hour battery life, so the ad says. The cups on the ears are how you control your volume or your like your voice chat versus game chat or all of it. Cool. It's all with the dials. It has the similar to this one here that has like the LED light. It has that indicating if the mic is muted. But two of the most important features here. Doodles, you and I play video games together a lot, right? And how often do you tell me, hey, my microphone isn't working or my headset isn't working? Can we do this as a call instead? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this headset, what it will let you do is you can connect to both your phone and your Xbox simultaneously and play audio through both. So all those times of me complaining about, no, I can't have a headset, I have to have one or that, I can't have,
one or the other.
All of it's
pick
boom,
one.
Right there, right in my ears. I don't even have to worry about it.
Looking at it, and I'm actually looking at it.
It's nice. It looks sleek too, doesn't it?
It looks pretty good, but I feel like they took a page out of SteelSeries with this.
Okay.
Because the SteelSeries Arctic 3 Bluetooth technically does that.
Does it? I see, and I hadn't heard of this. I knew it was a possibility, but I didn't know of which ones actually had it. So, SteelSeries, you said?
Because I'm using the SteelSeries Arctic 7s wireless.
Okay.
But I have a dongle that hooks up to the computer and one for my PlayStation. But at one point, I had the Arctic 3 Bluetooths. And I thought it was wireless Bluetooth, but no, it can compare to your phone and compare to the PlayStation. But I think the way that Xbox is doing it is probably a little bit better because it looks way more comfortable than even the one that I'm wearing right now.
Right?
And I'm not saying
see,
that I'm gonna jump on an Xbox bandwagon because I'm clearly not.
Don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I have the PlayStation. I got the platinum. I have the gold somewhere. They busted in half, which is why I got the platinums. Like, I've gone through these. Like, I would love to have a good comparison of who makes the better headset, PlayStation or Xbox. I like these ones, but they're a little bit tight. They give me a bit of headache because
I think
up
all
here,
day
but
it'll be Xbox.
You think it'll be Xbox? See,
well, here's the reason why. Because, like you said, how long have you had your PlayStation Gold headset for?
I had those for almost 4 years. Like, I got, not 4 years. When did they release even? I'm not even going to worry about it. I had them for a few years. Like, let's just
got rid of mine after a year.
Okay, why is that?
Because they started to hurt and they started to fall apart, and they started to not connect.
That's what happened with my gold. Is it just snap? I put too much pressure on it one day apparently, and it just snapped like right at the top here. Which is why I like the metal, and that actually is part of what I bring that up for a reason. The design of the headset, it looks like it has a single, or they said it has a single metal piece that goes around the head as well. So it's all, but it's all pieced in plastic is what it looks like.
It looks like it's covered in plastic.
So like my biggest worry, even though you have that support, that metal, whatever, wherever it may be, if it's even there, how much of that plastic is Xbox's standard plastic? Look at their headsets that they've released that come with the games or come with the systems. Like, they're not great plastic. They're very frail, very, you feel like you can snap them at any point in time, So
speaking of frail headsets, you guys want to see my investment?
Let's do it.
Sure. Oh wow.
I ordered this, and this is how it got shipped to me.
Oh my
new headset.
God.
Yeah, it came like this. I thought,
where did you buy that from?
Online.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so just be careful where you get your headsets.
Oh goodness. Yeah, we need to get you a better
It's okay.
website is what we need to do.
I'm gonna send you a link to a place where you can get a decent headset, and hopefully
There
they
you
have
go.
them in stock for you.
That would be awesome.
You won't have to pay an arm and a leg for it either.
Well, and that segues perfectly into the next point of the Xbox headset. Sorry, as we get back on track here, but the price, it's only priced at $99 US. That's reasonable. Like, that sounds like you're getting a high quality headset for a medium range price, personally speaking.
To me like they want to do a version 2 depending on how good these sell.
Xbox or the Microsoft store is already sold out. They sold out as soon as they put up pre-orders. Best Buy I saw had them as well. I was gonna cop some, just put my pre-order in for it, but bills. Right? Like, so I'm hoping to get a pre-order in. I would love to get them and like even do something with them, bring them onto the show, and have those as my normal headsets. Just like I'm so excited to actually get those. But
right, you're using a pair of Corsairs right now.
Yeah, I have my Corsairs. I used to. So okay, y'all. So I was using Bluetooth headsets because I had a Bluetooth converter for my computer. So I just plugged it in, but I ended up moving all my my entire OS from a hard drive to an SSD. And in the process, somewhere along the lines, I think I just forgot to pull it out of the socket there because it won't connect as a Bluetooth speaker anymore. So I have to manually plug these headphones in because I don't have Bluetooth capabilities anymore. Which is kind of why I'm excited for these other headsets, is because I don't need to get the audio from one source. I can connect to something else and pull the audio from there,
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Anyway,
the capability of this headset sounds awesome. Yeah, but I digest.
Yeah, I know. It's all good. I mean, goodness. All right, y'all. So we also had this week we had BlizzCon. Lots of announcements coming out of BlizzCon. Lots. But did you guys have a chance to catch any of BlizzCon at all, or any of the announcements?
I didn't get a chance to really watch BlizzCon, but I did see just like a snippet of the Nintendo one that came out.
Okay.
Nintendo came out with their little Nintendo Con or whatever it is, but no, I haven't seen or heard anything from BlizzCon.
The only thing I could say that I saw from BlizzCon was the one thing that I super care about, which is Diablo 4.
Okay, all right.
They introduced the rogue class, and it looks amazing. The trailer for it, the reveal of the rogue class, if you get a chance, definitely watch it. It is so cool. And
super exciting.
They gave you a little bit of gameplay for it that you could see, and the game just looks amazing. I'm willing to wait. I don't care at this point. I hope it comes out sometime soon. But like,
you were a big fan of 3, weren't you? You still play 3 on a regular basis.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get through the seasons. Every time there's a season, I try to beat the challenges as much as I can, because they still release new content. The people at Blizzard are doing an amazing job with 3, keeping it alive. I'm excited to see what they do with 2, though.
Yeah, 2 as well. So let's talk about 4 for just we'll stick with 4 for just a second here. So one of the big things, of course, is Rogue, but the 4 classes that they've kind of confirmed here. So we have the Barbarian again, we have Druid, Monk, and then the Rogue class. So those were the 4 that were all featured at BlizzCon. So the Rogue being the new one, but the other 3, they looked to me rather rejuvenized a little bit. They've kind of added a little bit. It looks like a sequel. It doesn't look like they're just copy pasta, right?
Yeah.
So super excited to see, but just want to let you guys know kind of what the other classes they've confirmed are, which Barbarian.
I haven't seen any Druid stuff, so I'm gonna have to look up some Druid stuff. That sounds amazing.
This is I wasn't able to find too awfully much with it. Those are just the 4 that I found that were confirmed for the game.
Of course, they bring Barbarian back. Of course, they're bringing Barbarian.
Yeah, always. I mean, that was the base class, like one of the base classes in 3, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Diablo 2, though, you mentioned that as well. So I didn't have a chance to look into this. I haven't done much with Diablo 2. Tell us about Diablo 2 as well.
I don't know much about Diablo 2.
Oh, that's what they announced. Okay, no, that's
I just know that they're doing a remaster. It's gonna be fully HD. So if you love 2, you're gonna be able to play it on a more updated scale, which I'm super willing to check out. I will download it and let you guys know what I think of it.
Totally fair. We would appreciate that. It's releasing on the PS4 and PS5, I believe I saw the remake, along with, I'm sure PC is getting it as well. I did.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
without a shadow of a doubt, PC's getting it.
Right? Like, why would you not give it back to PC?
Blizzard's not going to give it to PC.
Right?
No way.
It originally started on PC.
Yeah, right?
Wait, Blizzard's putting their games on PC now? What?
Right? Who authorized this madness?
This is mess.
But one of the bigger announcements here, and I'm not sure, Jay, did you have a chance to play Overwatch by any chance? Is that a game you played?
No. Get into it, bro.
All right. No.
I'm sitting here looking at the BlizzCon presentation notes, and I'm still trying to get into it, man.
That's fair. That's fair. This is one that Doodles and I used to play. I say used to. We kind of fell out of it for lots and lots of reasons. There's some pent up anger and PTSD and
lots of rage.
Lots of rage. And nonetheless, so Overwatch 2, they finally gave us some news about it. So some things that they're adding into the game that I found kind of cool and makes it feel like it is an actual sequel and not like a copy paste of the first one, which is what I'm afraid they're gonna. And nonetheless,
right.
So they're adding basically character ability trees, not trees per se, but you get to unlock abilities and customize the character to fit how you want to play. They kind of showcased it a little bit with Tracer in the original commercial. They said they kind of scrapped that idea and moved to something a little more refined, but being able to unlock it, how do you feel that adding that particular feature to this game would actually make it so that we don't run into the same boredom problem as last time?
Well, so from what I understand, you have a different character you can play as, essentially. And you can pick which abilities you take in on each game. So it's not like, oh, you're playing soldier and you have set abilities every game. No, you can switch it up if you get bored. Plus, he has a beard now. That's awesome. I heard he has a beard now.
Yeah, they changed a lot of the character models for the game itself. more refinement, I would say, is probably the term. They all look a little better, a little more aged, a little more appropriate.
Yeah.
But it adds like I mean, as you said, the different abilities. Now you can do different things with the same character, and no one's going to get kind of stale as stuck on this one or whatever else. I do think it's going to get real interesting, the balancing act on it, though. They already have a hard time balancing Overwatch characters.
Yeah.
How are you going to balance all of these additional factors? Like this one particular skill of Genji is going to be so overpowered, but there's 12 other things that are underpowered that you have to focus. Like, they got to make sure that they're staying on top of it if they're going to go that route, because they're already struggling,
Well, they've proven time and time again that they're willing to take a character and just completely change them. And if they have to, I mean, look at Torb. He's a great example.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
He was one character, and then after the patch or the update or whatever, it's a completely different character. His ult is now an ability. It lasts like 8 seconds, and then he has a completely different ult. And they did, so they have no problem changing their characters up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping for a little bit more consistency out of this one.
Okay.
Because with Overwatch 1, it was you would play, and they would just change your character. Like Reaper was my main, and I've been begging for my soul orbs back since day one. Like, how is Reaper a justifiable character at this point? He can't heal anymore. Oh, you're based off of however many pellets you hit the enemy with.
Yeah, they
is
ultimately
how much you
had
heal.
that, but even that was hard to balance, because how much did you actually hit?
Right.
So like I get that. I do agree that they are really good about if they need to adjust a character, they're completely willing to just completely scrap the character and start from scratch. One thing that they said, and kind of playing into that, one of the things that they said was they want to make this feel like the next evolution. They said they themselves, the same problem all of us had, they themselves were bored of Overwatch. It wasn't the game that they wanted to create. So Overwatch 2 is a chance for them to go in and fix the issues and the boredom that they had themselves. Go ahead.
I'm glad you said that, because every time, every once in a while, I feel that same exact way about Destiny 2.
Yeah. It's this all games. I mean, it is what it is, I suppose. But no, you're absolutely right. It's just repetitive. It's the same thing over and over and over again. It's the same 5 maps that you're running, whatever else, the same compositions. So this one they said it is supposed to make it feel a little different. Genji may be great. I keep saying Genji. I'm a Reinhardt main, and I keep mentioning Genji. Also, Reinhardt. Okay. They are okay. So one of the things that they elected to do with this game, because they wanted to focus on playing the character in front of you. So, for example, Reinhardt, this is supposed to be this massive, big, bulky, go in there, tear shite up, like just rip people to shreds. But like in all reality, you're just sitting there with the shield. And like that's your job. So they said they want to make him more of a powerhouse. They want to kind of give it that feel. So they've added mobility, so you can actually control where you're going. You can stop your charge instead of just having to let it ride out. So throwing people off a cliff became so much easier.
No more accidental cliff diving.
Exactly. You can actually stop on time now. Don't have to measure it out, but nonetheless. Reinhardt's one that I'm actually really excited for. But they talked about
Reinhardt.
Reinhardt. They showed the new character models for Widowmaker, Reaper. Who else did they have there that they really showcased? McCree.
Yeah, I saw McCree still has his BAMF belt. Really dating the character there.
Right. You're also looking, so some of the other things they added, just so we can kind of get them out of the way, beyond just the characters themselves. So you're actually getting new heroes and new enemies across the board. So different maps will have different abilities. You are getting new maps. So we got New York. We're getting It's an Italian city that I've already forgotten which one it was. So we're getting a few new maps, but they're also adding different objectives as well. So these are now story-driven maps where you are actually progressing a story versus just going in and first person to push the payload the furthest wins. Scott.
Do we have a campaign this time? A story mode?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Would love a story mode.
Yeah, I would love a full story mode, but if you get the chance to check out the entire behind the scenes of Overwatch 2, I highly recommend it. There's lots coming out. I'm just hoping that they don't make it the same repetitive. That's what I have with Overwatch. Like, it just got bored, it got repetitive. I'm just hoping this game will actually be the next step, the next evolution of Overwatch. So here's to hoping. Jay, I'm sorry, we kind of bored you there as you didn't really get into the game. I apologize.
No worries at all. This was actually your guys' deal. I mean, it was good to see Scott come out of his element on this one.
There you go. Yeah, this one. Scott and I played this one so much. The next step, the next evolution of Overwatch. So here's to hoping. Jay, I'm sorry, we kind of bored you there as you didn't really get into the game. I apologize.
No worries at all. This was actually your guys' deal. I mean, it was good to see Scott come out of his element on this one.
There you go. Yeah, this one. Scott and I played this one so much. We spent hours upon hours. I think I have it for every console just so I can make sure I play it with people. It's a good game. It's just...
Yeah, I just couldn't get into it, man.
Yeah.
I get that.
It was hard for me to get into. Plus, at the time, I was driving trucks, so...
Okay. That makes sense.
Wasn't really home to play games.
That makes sense.
I'm about that truck driving life. We're not even going to talk video games the rest of the episode.
Right?
So, well, let me ask you this then, Jay. Before we get into talking trucks here, what about the game didn't you like when you were playing Overwatch?
I've never played Overwatch.
Never even played? Okay. All right. Does it just not interest you? What? It
didn't. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Fortnite in a way. You know,
it looks similar.
Yeah, the similarities and the goofiness behind it. Now, I'm sure if I were to look at it even more, and trust me, I know I'm going to get hate, and eventually my nephew's going to see this, so he's going to send a lot of hate my way because he's currently playing.
And that's fair. And that's
Hanzo main.
Right. However, please keep in mind this game is super old, and a lot of people are just done with it at this point in time. I'm kind of over Overwatch. So it's not we can't even say, oh, jump in and play the game now, Jay. Like the game is it's not dead, but like is it not worth it?
It's on its way out, pretty much is what you're saying. And,
pretty much.
I just hope they go away from their microtransaction crutch that they've been using. The whole gold currency, they need to fix that in Overwatch 2 because they give you such just a pittance, and you have to buy the currency in order to get the event skins that you want. Unless you're like, my wife who saves currency nonstop, and she's got like so much, and she's just waiting for the right skin.
Is she at this
scenario? They should take that and transfer whatever gold you have from the first one into the second game.
That would be cool.
I am actually wondering how they link the two. If you have an Overwatch account, can you transfer your stuff over? Is it going to be a completely different thing? They've said straight up this is a sequel game. It is it's the next thing. Are we going to be bringing if I've unlocked skins, do I get those in this next game? Because I would love that, especially rejuvenized versions.
Oh yeah,
you kind of try to do that for Call of Duty too when you think about it, with Cold War and Modern Warfare and
creating that central hub in Warzone. That was really interesting.
Yeah, that was smart of them to do. Very smart, very smart. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump to our main topic here. We spent a lot of time on all of that, but let's go ahead and jump into our main topic. So, this month is, of course, February. I know, actually, is it still February on Wednesday? It is still February on Wednesday.
Yes,
so so here we are. It is it's Wednesday, Sunday of Black History Month. And one of the biggest things that I felt that we could do was really just kind of bring awareness to a few things and talk about have a Black History episode.
For the uneducated.
Yeah, absolutely. So first person that I want to talk about, and it's mostly going to be me kind of telling you guys the story here, but we're going to talk about Jerry Lawson for a few moments. Jerry Lawson is a Black engineer who is known as the father of modern gaming. It's kind of his moniker. He was born in 1940 to a longshoreman and a PTA board member, so came from very humble backgrounds. But in 1970, about 30 years after he was born, he was hired to Fairchild Semiconductor and began working on what's called the Fairchild Channel F. The Fairchild Channel F is the first first console to use a microprocessor. This allowed the console, the first of its kind, to use cartridges over having the game built in. Ultimately speaking, it launched in 1974. It sold 250,000 units, but it wasn't really enough to compete with Atari or any of those other game systems that ultimately did it out. But I mean, we're looking at this thing that really, in the grand scheme of things, revolutionized video games. We are now able to do this, pick up one console and just bring cartridges in. You don't need to buy something specific to a game. So,
and we were using using cartridges till the Nintendo 64. So like that was a huge addition.
We wouldn't even be able to do Xbox, PlayStation, anything like that without his design with this Fairchild Channel F, which is Channel Fun, by the way. Wouldn't be able to do anything. Jay, you mentioned it before the show here. High Score, the documentary. Have you had a chance to actually watch that?
Yeah.
You have. Have you seen so tell us about that episode, because I haven't personally seen it, but in 2020, August of 2020, Netflix did a documentary called High Score. It featured Jerry's children talking about his work and his contribution to the video game world. So Jay, tell us. Oh, absolutely. I'll have Jay tell us about that episode here in just a few moments. Jerry ultimately, you know what? Let's do this. There you go. Jerry ultimately did pass away in 2011 due to complications from diabetes. But he is still, like I said, to this day, known as the father of modern gaming because of this contribution. Let's get Jay back in here. There you are. Oh, and we switched places. I mean, that works. Whatever.
Musical chairs.
So, Jay, there you go. Jay, tell us about that episode, though, because, again, I did not have a chance to see it. So tell us about the episode specifically with Jerry.
Actually, the one that I saw was on YouTube. It was like a YouTube thing, and they were going over the semiconductors and processors and stuff like that. And Jerry was brought up in that conversation because he was in the same category as Bill Gates and what's the guy's name? Ashton Kutcher played him. The Apple guy.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, he was in the same category for the things that he created. And I was like, I've never heard of the Fairchild Channel F before. And then they went into it, and I was like, oh, so that's where it came from. So cartridges started with these guys. All right,
right.
Cool.
And it's strange to think that they don't quite get that recognition. Like everybody moves to Atari, but like Atari got this from someone, and he was told straight, point blank, this can't be done. You will not be able to do it. And he basically gave them the middle finger, like, watch me, Definitely feel like Jerry's one that we shouldn't forget. I mean, not even just because of Black History Month. Like, Jerry created this whole concept for us. Jerry is the one that did this and looked past everyone in order to do it. So good on Jerry. Wanted to bring him up and
I'm happy to learn this because that's really cool.
And just to get one of his consoles right now on eBay, the highest one is $519.
Okay.
With 11 games.
That's not terrible though. Like, I mean, I know it's
That's not
smaller
bad at all.
system, but like I can buy brand new technology for that. Like that's not. I'm looking at the price value of what it could be if it were a collector's item. Like, okay,
I was just thinking that too. I was like,
Right,
I bet
like-
it's a lot.
it starts to add up after a bit. But let's go ahead and talk about just Black history and gaming as a whole. So, first thing I want to talk about concerning this side of things, per a PBS article in 2015, a study showed that 83% of non-Hispanic Black teenagers play video games, while only 71% of white teenagers play video games. Such a vast difference, but representation of, just Black culture as a whole, the Black community, is lacking. It really always has been. The first video game to feature a Black character was Heavyweight Champs. We're talking, it's still early on, but like that's the only character of the time.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely correct.
So I have a couple questions now. I do gear these more towards Jay, just for your experience and your knowledge and your expertise in the matter. Sorry, Scott.
That's okay.
You have one defining feature that just doesn't stand out in this case. So my questions for you, Jay, as you were growing up, what were your experiences with representation in video games? Or as you were playing these games, like, is it something that you felt was there was people that you could turn to and look up to in video games, or was it just completely lacking? What was your experience?
I'll be honest with you. It was completely lacking. I didn't really understand most of the things involving that growing up until now. I'm getting ready to turn 35 October. I'm damn near in my mid 30s, and to find out Kratos is played by a Black guy, to find out that some technology that was made well before my birth, was done by a Black man, to see the depth of where streamers and streaming is going nowadays on Twitch. Swag, if you understand who he is, he's a Call of Duty streamer, FaZe Swag for FaZe Clan. Yeah. And he's one of maybe, I want to say, me personally, one of 7 that I might watch on Twitch. As far as gaming goes, who represent people of color. So to see that now compared to what it was when it first came out is a big drastic step, and it is definitely lacking. And hopefully soon, when I can get things taken care of and get some new hardware, I'll be able to join the ranks of that. The only way to actually change it is if you're willing to make the change yourself. So hopefully, once I get everything situated on the other side of my life, this side of my life will be able to,
Well, anyway, we can help you out with that side of your life. I can't do much about the home life, but if you ever need someone to play video games with, hey,
I know who you are. NatesLegend and Dooley, dude.
There you go. So, beyond just representation in video games, and having representation, we're also looking at the stereotype that came along when we started getting a little bit more. There was a stereotype that was automatically imprinted into this, into the culture, into the video game culture. We had a Tom Sawyer game that depicted, if you know the story of Tom Sawyer, but they didn't do a great job depicting any of the characters well. It is very almost a negative light that they shed it in. So all throughout history, Black communities have been misrepresented or depicted in potentially like negative ways. I'm just curious how those stereotypes, especially portrayed on video games, Grand Theft Auto, whatever else, how those stereotypes might have affected you and your decisions to play video games. Did it prevent you from wanting to play versus if it had been maybe a little more accepting?
Hell no, I didn't. Because that shit was just, I'll be honest with you. when you say it like Grand Theft Auto,
I
then
use that.
it's like,
I'm not saying that specifically, but like just in general,
you might be black, and San Andreas was definitely that game that took it to another level. But at the same token, it's just like I get to shoot a bunch of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's fair. At that point, it's not about what color of skin you are. At that point, let's just kill motherfuckers.
Plus, I mean, we got to talk about San Andreas had the best cheats out of all the Grand Theft Autos.
Yes.
All right. Sorry.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Jay. We don't mean to interrupt you there.
But back to kind of what you were saying. No, it wouldn't sway me because for the time period, there were a lot of things that I was not exposed to, especially when it came to video games. I didn't get my first system was a Sega Genesis, a 32-bit Sega Genesis.
Dang. All right.
And then I didn't get that until 1992 or 93 was when I first got that. Not a lot of things were really going on in that kind of aspect, and plus you got to remember, it was the early 90s. There was a lot going on, and not a lot of people had money for stuff like that, and so forth and so forth. So
no doubt,
you have to go with the times on that. I was part of that time where I didn't have a lot. The next system I got after the Sega Genesis was an N64. And that is, to me, Nintendo really stepped up their game with that. That was literally
64 was great.
One of the best systems, if not the top 3 of all time.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
You can't have a top 10 or even a top 5 of video game consoles without mentioning the Nintendo 64 or even that of the Sega Dreamcast or something along those lines. But I didn't have much, and right after that was this is where things started to kind of make sense for me, which was PlayStation 2 was the next thing I got after that. And then PlayStation 2 has been out for years at that point. Years and years and years, and then I wound up getting my own PlayStation 2, my own PlayStation 3, and now I have a PlayStation 4. Nice. And I'm waiting to get a PS5.
If that ever happens.
I'm waiting, but then again, you can't forget about Xbox. When Xbox came out in 2002 or 2003, somewhere along those lines. You can't forget about Xbox 360, Xbox One S series, and stuff like that. But things didn't, like I said, back to the previous question, it was lacking. So things didn't really come into perspective until technically in the 2000s, was when everything started to kind of evolve and make sense and be like, hey, we need, this type of diversity in the game. We need this kind of diversity in the game. I think at the time when video games were created, people were thinking, yeah, we'll go off of maybe this book, and maybe this book will be okay, or this will be accepted. Now, those to the uneducated wouldn't really find anything wrong with that. But then again, those who are educated in that, they might be like, yeah, I got a problem with that. And especially with the way cancel culture is today, and it's just fucking sad with the way things are going. Next thing you know, they'll try to cancel everything with Silent Hill. Who knows?
Yeah, what can you do there?
Yeah, there's nothing much you can really do. But like I said, things didn't really start taking effect until when PS2 came out and beyond, because the way and the scope of how the games were developed, where they're getting the storylines from, how are they being perceived in the character's hands, or even that of the person who's playing the character's hands. You know what I mean? Like how can you justify this, the odds and the means of this? You know what I mean? So
that's fair.
Throughout the gaming time, that's what was been lacking.
Okay, and that's fair. So to play into that with what's lacking and whatnot, what do you feel that the video game community as a whole, whether it be the developers of the games, the storyboard artists, the people that are creating it, or even just the fans of the games, your fellow, all of our fellow video game enthusiasts here, those that play the games, what do you feel that needs to happen to make it a little more of an open and more diverse culture? More welcoming, really.
I actually have a quick answer for that because I actually was just thinking about that as I was giving my last answer, and they're technically already doing it now with custom creators. Custom character customization, I should say, where you can make the character black if you want to make it black. You can make the character white if you want to. Is it sad that it kind of took them within the last 5 years of doing this to do it? Yeah, it's quite sad. I mean, considering who the hell we had in office the last 4 years. But I mean, actually, and to be honest, they're doing it way before, we're talking at the end of, the era of Bush. So, it's not like that you don't have custom game character customization. It's not that you don't have that. We have that. And I think that's a way to kind of diversify everything, because the storyline will be driven not based on race, but based on a strong storyline. It won't be race related. And I think that, that'll go a long way if they continue to keep that up.
I like that. The games, I mean, you can kind of see it, all of your sports games. I mean, if you can create a character and completely customize, but these RPG games that are now, that let you do that full customization, I'd love to see that move its way through really every game. I mean, can you imagine being able to choose the character that you're, you get to do this? It would make it, no matter what the story is. I can't think of many video games where it matters what your character looks like. There are some, but like, why do I have to play as this person? Why can I not play as who I want to? So I really like that idea. I'm gonna gear this question. I'm gonna kind of rephrase it just a little bit, because I want to become a little more inclusive, and I actually want to include Scott in get his answer on this as well. So beyond just within race or any whatever else, we also have our female gamers, we have kids that play, we have a very diverse group. Like, if we're being completely honest, like the number of people that actually game is bigger than just us, So what do you feel needs to happen for the video game community to be more accepting towards everyone, women, kids, anybody that wants to play? What do we need to do as a community? Scott, go ahead as we bring Jay in.
My thing, I would say, I've been thinking a lot about this. I would like to see more stories just based off of character, where we're admiring people for their character and just how they treat people in general. Like, we read our comics and our stories, and we love these people because of the way they are with people. Just generally good people who treat everyone the same. And I would love that. I would love to see more, diverse leading roles and stories on these games, like female lead characters.
Yeah, way more.
I am glad you said that, because we do need more female characters.
Exactly.
Most of my characters are all female.
Almost exclusively every time.
Guilty as well.
Yep.
I mean, when you think about it, do you really want to sit back and look at a dude's ass while you're playing the game?
I mean, not even for that reason, because I don't have a problem looking at a dude's ass either. All right. Anyway,
look at everybody's butt. We're looking at all the butts.
Is a butt. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
I'm here.
But I would like to see people just treating each other with compassion. I'm a very empathetic person. I feel like I carry a lot of people's emotions generally in my day-to-day. I love the idea of focusing on stories where people are just genuinely good people. That's why I love Spider-Man. That's why I love Miles Morales Spider-Man. These are just two play it. Genuinely play it. No, genuinely good characters who just love and they want to protect, and they're just such good role models. And that's what we need. We need more role models.
That's a fair
that's
point.
my answer.
That is a fair point. Jay, do you want to? I know you kind of answered it exclusive to like the to race, but in general, what do you feel that we need to do to help be more inclusive of everybody that wants to play video games?
I think more if you want to understand why we do the things we do, I think education on the on everything would be great, because if you don't know what you're doing or talking about or assuming certain things about how us as gamers are, I'm not just a fat bastard in South Park that has to sit at my computer and and house and stuff like that. No, like I have a life outside of this.
Yeah, fully functioning adult. I'm a member of society just as much as anybody else.
Just playing the video games is a way of release for us, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I think education on this would be perfect for the uneducated. And I'm kind of glad you brought that up, because it is the truth. The more you know about us and what we do in playing video games, and I'm not just talking about black folks, I'm talking about white folks too. It's actually all races alike. We all share a common interest in the gaming space, and it's our way of this is our Sword Art Online. You know what I mean? Like this is this is what we like to do. And if you're educated and you understand, once you understand that, then you don't have to worry about fearing us. Now, there is a group of people that we do need to fear at all times, and those are damn cheaters in the games.
Yes, I think we can all band together to hate on cheaters.
I mean, unless you use an aimbot, understandable.
I mean, even then, I look, man. I don't want to incriminate myself, but I'm not going to sit there and say that I have an aimbot, because I don't.
It's cool.
Well, I've used aimbot before.
I'm not going to sit there and say that I have or haven't. I do have a controller that kind of helps me with auto.
I mean, if you want to pull that definition of it, I get where you're coming from there.
It's a modded controller, and it looks just like the PlayStation 1. It literally, here, I'll unplug it real quick. It's nice. It's a Mega Mod controller. Looks like a PlayStation 1, but it has a couple of features on it that are a little bit different. It just helps. And the only reason why I use this is because don't worry, I got the gold one too.
Where's my gold? I want gold.
The only reason why I use it is because there are some guns in the games that I play, mostly shooter games, that are semi-auto, and I really use it for that auto fire feature.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Especially where it feels more like the trigger.
And plus, not to mention, sometimes you're doing that shit, it actually hurts if you've been doing it.
Carpal tunnel, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that.
So I don't do, and trust me, if I felt like it was cheating, I would have just sent it back.
That's fair. No one, we're not here to judge.
Amazing.
At the same time, I mean, you do want to make sure that you're not it's one thing to have a bit of an assist, and it's a completely different ballgame to completely take over with cheating. I mean, because if you look at it in every console right now versus PC or most games at this point, you have a feature just by using the Xbox that helps you aim. PC games, though, some of them have that sort of feature. They really don't for the most part. That's what makes PC so different than these others. So if you want something that helps you a little bit, it's just a controller. You're not doing anything dirty. It's just a controller. That's how they're built. I can't fault you for that, man. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
see, it's a more, and I looked on their website and they kind of broke it down. Like, is this considered cheating? And what they said was, no, it's not, because they're not messing with the software of the game. They tinkered with the hardware aspect that's not even connected to the console. And I was like, okay, yeah, that does make sense, but at the same time, others might look at that as cheating is cheating, period. You know what I mean?
I get that.
Yeah. If you want to get into the semantics of it, like there's going to be difficulties with what you're using to begin with. If you're on controller versus mouse and keyboard and we're doing crossplay and you're aiming at me, you're going to have a way easier time aiming with your mouse than a joystick. So, I mean, if we're going to be sticklers, we can be sticklers.
I mean, you can pull it either way, really, if you want to look at it. There are advantages and disadvantages, but we'll go ahead. Sorry, we're getting real close on time. I'm going to go ahead and give my answer real quick, and we'll start wrapping things up for you. As a community, I think that it really comes down to the player base. If anything is going to happen to make this a more welcoming community, it's going to have to start with the players. Not calling people out because of their gender, or not calling people out for anything, really. You don't need to bash on people just for the sake of bashing on people. We're all here to enjoy the same game. Just because they're not on the same skill level as you does not mean that you're a better person than them. Like, shut the fuck up, play the goddamn game, move to the next one. Like, just enjoy the game. We're all here just to have fun. So I really do think it comes down to the fan base first. Once the fan base is more accepting and recognizes that we have these other people that want to play this game, women, children, everybody wants to play these. Why? As soon as we stop gatekeeping, I feel like studios will move into trying to do the same. They release things based off of the target demographic, and if that target demographic widens because it has to, we're gonna get more.
We need to open it up. We need to open up. There are so many stories to tell.
Yeah,
so let's tell them.
So that's my opinion. Kind of wrapping things up. We really wanted to focus, like I said, wanted to give you guys each a little bit of time to kind of focus on your areas here. So I really appreciate you guys coming on today. Start out, let's before we get too far into giving your guys' outros, though, I do want to start by giving a quick shout out to, of course, Patrick. Patrick, Pat B Reviews. You can see Jay wearing one of his shirts there. Please check out the videos he releases. He's releasing a lot right now. I feel like he's almost overworking himself. Don't tell him I said that, because he'll smack me, because that's what he keeps calling me out for doing. Anywho, but anyway, let's get these banners across.
That sounds like Patrick,
right? He's just like, Nate, don't overwork yourself. I don't want you doing this. And then he releases like 4 videos in the same day. Like, yeah, I'm overworking myself. Okay, Patrick. Anyway, we love Patrick. We're not actually complaining about Patrick. He is so fantastic.
Patrick.
Scott, where can our viewers find you?
Add me on PlayStation. We'll play some games.
PlayStation. You're not doing that.
Find me on there,
right?
I'm not streaming yet.
Issues?
I still got a headset issues. I'm gonna buy one. I'm just gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna go buy one. I'm gonna
send you the link to where you can get one at a decent price.
Thank you.
I might be able to get you a set of these.
There you
are
go.
The Arctic 7s, but I can get you some Arctic 1s.
Those are nice.
That's not bad. Man. Or hang tight for them Xbox ones. The Xbox speakers or headphones release in March?
March.
Yeah, March 17th or something.
Somewhere toward the end of March, right before the Snyder Cut.
Birthday's next month, you know.
That's a valid point.
Love you guys. No,
just something out to you though. I like having a home more than I like buying you presents.
You know what? You shouldn't though.
I shouldn't. No, I'll just come live with you.
Yeah.
It's all worked out. All right, guys.
If your wife would like that, but yeah.
No, she wouldn't like that even a little bit. All right, Jay, tell us about your channel one more time. Where can our viewers find you?
Man, you can find me on Let's Talk About It. Jay Moore Let's Talk About It is my YouTube channel, and you can also find me on YouTube. Facebook. At Jay Moore. You know, you'll see a picture there of me and my wife there in a silhouette, so it's not too bad.
Love it. I love it. Well, definitely check out the channel. It's going to be super exciting. Guys, I'm NatesLegend. You can catch me. I haven't really, I keep saying I'm going to keep streaming, but I haven't jumped on and done it yet. Work's been crazy. I'm sorry. But we'll keep trying to do that. But for now, take care of your mental health and just keep on gaming.